Hello, everyone. We are back with another reads. I am so sorry, but this time for May, I read 27 books, and a lot of it was because I read very short graphic novels. So those will go fairly quickly, I think. But I did read a lot. So I'm going to try to keep this one shorter, but just beware, it was a lot of reading this month. So the first book I did finish was morely a book that I read in obviously in April, but whenever I have car rides with my daughter, I read children's books with her on an audio book. So this was Diary of a Wimpy Kid Wrecking Ball. The story, Greg, his family gets money and they basically try to change their house, and everything doesn't work out. And it's pretty funny. I will say it's one of the better stories. And Greg actually is a kinder human in this one, so I'll take it. God of the Woods is was my book of the month book, and I could not put it down. Now, this was a book of the month book that was from last year, but it did become the book of the year for 2024. Long story short, it is about a woman who goes missing. Her name is Barbara. And by woman, I mean, I think she's like 14 years old. And she's from this rich family who has this whole mystery about them because her brother died when he was super young. And so their mom has like really bad mental health issues. But it time travels back and forth and it's very good. It is a longer read. However, it was so good and I could not put it down. So if you are interested in it, I highly suggest it. Kamiko Does Cancer is a graphic book memoir. It's about a girl. Her name is Kamiko, and she is queer and she has cancer, breast cancer with at that. So she has to deal with the idea of is she okay with losing her breast? But her cancer leaves, and so then she has to deal with what it's like to be a queer woman in the community. It's a very short and reflective book. I highly suggest it if you're interested in it at all. My Life as a Cat. Now, this one's a series. I will talk about this a lot. This was the first one. It is cute. It is repetitive. I will say this for all of the books. It is a like what is that called? Oh my god, like a daily life kind of story. Basically, a boy he gets into a car accident and his soul somehow switches with a cat. The cat goes comatose basically, and then in his body, and he goes in the cat's body. He's adopted by this girl who goes to school with him, who's this klutz. It's super cute. Um, but it there's not a lot of substance to it, so it's up to you if you wanna read that. Banned Book Club is really interesting. It's about how in South Korea, after the Korean Wars, basically a lot of the government uh, didn't allow different books to be led through or different media to be led through. And so this was a girl in her campus, and they were basically reading books that were banned in order to gain knowledge about the outside world. It is a very interesting read. I think that it's something I didn't know about. And it's cool to know history that I wasn't aware of. Wash Day Diaries is super cute. It follows these four girls. It is about how, like, what it's like to be a black woman, to do your hair, and the life of a black woman. So a lot of times it's their family life or it's their love life. It's really cute. It's one of them is queer. One of them is dealing with like a not great relationship. One of them is dealing with depression. So yeah, it's really fun. I wish it was longer and I wish there was more. I think it would be a really good series. So that's my only thing. Welcome to St. Hell is made by Lewis Hancock's. It is his biography, his memoir, about what it was like to grow up as a trans teen in England in like the early 2000s. So it deals a lot with him kind of figuring out what it was to be trans, what it was to kind of come out and all of that. Pneumonia, it's a great book. It's about a girl who's a shapeshifter, as well as two knights. One of the knights becomes a supervillain, and they try to take down this really bad guy. I don't think that it was as good as the movie Pneumonia, but the book is really fun and it's very well written. It was the book that took so long. I could do my own video about it and I wouldn't get a lot done. Um, it's a lot. It's good. It's gross. Um, the horror is great. I don't think that the amount of sex involved needed to be there, and I don't think the amount of N words need to be there. Hi. Sorry about that. But yes, overall, it's good. It's just so long, and a lot of it didn't need to be there. Lore Olympus. This one was when the trial and the time skip happened. The fight between Persephone and oh my god, Oranos. Not Oranos. What's the dad? I can't remember. Happens. It's very good. I do think that the time skip could have had more things in it. And she does mention this as well about wanting the continuity to be okay. But yeah, it's weird. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the deep end. This one is weird because it's weirdly religious and it's not at all about swimming. And instead, it's about being on a van, but it's about it's called the deep end. I don't know. In this one, he talks a lot about like Noah's Ark and different things. And I don't know. This was weird for me. Maid Sama, I finally finished the series. It was a very cute end to the series. They get married 10 years later. It's fun. I like it. Finale. This is the last book of Caraval. I think it was a great end to the series. Um, I think that the characters finally had a really good thing. Scarlet, we find out that she is actually a daughter of a fate. And yeah, it turns out really cute. Legend and oh God, her name starts with a D. Guys, I read 27 books this month. I don't know how I kept track of most of these. They get together. It's cute. We like it. Escape from Hell. So this is the second part of the book with with Louis Cancox. I think it's really good. It talks a lot about transitioning and what it was like to transition. I think that this is great a lot for younger audiences, especially teens. I think that this is really helpful. And it's great. And he also puts a lot of resources as far as like his YouTube channel and everything about how he went through it all. I think it's cool. Scott Pilgrim 3 lessons are finally learned. I think Scott finally realizes that he is not a good person, and that he has to go through a lot of life and become a better person overall. I think it's great. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, big shot. So this one, the wimpy thing is shown a lot more, um, and Greg actually has to be in a basketball team, and he has to like be a better player and has to work with the team. I think it's really good. Girl from the Sea, it's really short. It's super sweet. It's about a Selkie who falls in love with a human. The human is queer and she has to deal with like how to tell her friends. It's cute. I like it. Nature of Witches, it is um it's good. I think that the main character has a woe is me syndrome where everything is like awful in her life. And I don't know. It's boring is to some degree. I do think that the concept overall of like these seasons of witches is really interesting. And I think that that'd be great. The Wild Robot is a great book. It's super cute. If it's really fun, it's about a robot who gets basically trapped on an island and has to live with all of the animals on the island. And basically, they learn how to be an animal. It's super cute, it's lovely. I know it was made into a movie. I wanted to read this book because of the movie. I'll be honest, my life as a cat, the new life as a cat, 2, 3, and 4, which will be on the next page, all are the same. They basically are cute slices of life. They're cute, they're fun, but beyond the fact that they are like a slice of life, it's not great. The fourth one does finally have a little bit of movement towards it. He does see his body with the cat inside of it. So that's kind of fun. I'll try to get through this quickly. But The Benevolent Society of Ill Mannered Ladies, very good book. It's like a fun historical fiction. Basically, it's about Augusta, who is a um, who is a lady in society. She kind of falls in love with this man who was taken out of society. She is a old maid, and so there's like that kind of stigma against it. But she is also trying to save people, so she saves this one girl from her husband. She and she goes in. She saves a bunch of people from a uh, a brothel, children at that. It's beautiful. It's a great written book. I think it's fun. I don't like the ending. I think the ending was rushed. Divine Rivals is a war love story. Don't get the hype of it, to be quite honest. I don't think it was really well written, but very rushed. Basically, they are able to write each other through a typewriter that's magical. Um, but like there's a rival thing that is going against the gods and it's becoming a war with the humans. I think it's cute, but beyond that, it's a lot. All Boys Are Blue is really tough to read, but it's really great. It's about a man, it's his memoir. His name is George Matt Flo- G- George Matt Johnson. He's very great. It deals with him being a black man and also queer, and what is that like. I think it's great. So here are my stats. You can see I read a lot of books. It took about 4 days for me to read, and I enjoyed it overall. If you want me to go through any book in more detail, I'd happily do so. Hope you have a great day. Bye.